I'll pull a little bit of power back so we don't get too fast. Now the autopilot has the capability to do a yaw damper even, but honestly, I just didn't see the point in spending another $1,400. I think it was $700 or $750 for the controller, and then another $750 for the servo, I believe. But I figure, you know, what the heck, I can do the rudder. Just like all the other times, as soon as we start getting close, the altitude gets close, it'll switch to hold, which means that the autopilot is going to capture that altitude. There it went to hold. And as soon as it brings the nose up, then we'll start adding cruise power. Bringing the nose up, and I'm putting the power back in. And we'll continue southward back to Crazy Horse International. One of the nice features about the autopilot also is I had an early morning departure from Mexico, Missouri to get home, trying to beat some wind. And it was a moonless night, very little references on the horizon, and the autopilot was a real comfort, a safety factor. And, you know, I had everything set up, altitude pre-select, and the GPS nav and everything was ready to go. And when I departed and climbed 300 or 400 feet above the field elevation, I engaged the autopilot and sat there with my arms crossed until I landed at Vandalia High 2 hours later. The autopilot as it is will follow a flight plan in the GPS, so like a multiple leg flight plan if you want to go to, let's say, from your takeoff point to an intersection, to another intersection, to your, you know, to a waypoint, whatever you choose. The autopilot flies that perfectly fine and makes the turn. And it's just really shocking at how smooth it is. I'm just going to continue southbound here, and we're getting pretty close. Looks like we're 2.2 nautical miles away from where we're going to be landing. And I'm going to show you what will happen when the autopilot gets to, or recognizes that we're near our waypoint. Okay, the field's right over the nose at 1.4 nautical miles. And I'm obviously not doing a really good job of keeping the airplane coordinated. And it said nearing waypoint. Now, if it was a multi-leg waypoint, we would just continue, make the turn and continue. But as it is now, it's our final waypoint. And what we'll do is just disconnect the autopilot and hand fly the airplane with one push and hold. Autopilot's off, yaw damper is off. And one other feature that I need to mention about the autopilot is it comes with auto trim, and it works flawlessly. It's surprising. I mean, I've read horror stories where some people disengage the autopilot and the airplane is horribly out of trim, and they have to fight to maintain control. Well, that is not the case with the Trutrak. Every time I have ever disengaged the autopilot, the airplane will continue straight and level just as it was before I disengaged the autopilot, because the auto trim works perfectly. start pulling the power back, and we'll get set up to go land here. Now, one thing that Trutrak would probably be able to explain a little better than me is the attitude indicator is not actually an attitude indicator, it's a velocity vector display. Now the roll information is there, and that's all correct. But basically, as I understand it, the velocity vector indicator shows you where the airplane is going, not where the nose is pointed. And I've noticed that during slow flight that the nose will be high and the autopilot will be showing a descending right turn, like for instance when I make the approach into my farm, it'll show that it won't show that the nose is in a nose high attitude. It shows you where the airplane is going. And I didn't think I'd really like that, but as it turns out, I really do like it. Right now, the airplane is descending slightly in a not quite nose high attitude, just a little nose up. You can see how it's showing that. Looking into the sun, it's tough. Okay, we're continuing our descent. Power's coming off.
Report the traffic, Terminal 328, feeling about 4 miles to the east, inbound landing 18.
Now right now you can see I've got the nose up in the air pretty good, and it's showing in the airplane is in a descent. Putting in little flaps, and if you'll notice that the autopilot is showing it to continue to descend, which that's fine. And here's the descending right turn I spoke of earlier. Coming down pretty quick. And we managed to land and keep the wheels on it. Flaps coming up. Well, I hope you enjoyed the flight. Hope I didn't confuse anyone. And if you got any questions about the video, of course, as always, go ahead and give me a call or contact me through the internet, through YouTube, however it is that you can get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. And if you have any other questions that I can't answer, then Trutrak, I'm sure, would be happy to help you out. So thanks again for going along and watching the video.